imp week again. Been breaking a bit of a sweat. Me and Luke have just been busy putting together the front end suspension. Obviously last time we were on, we mocked up the rear end, which took forever. Front end thankfully was a bit more straightforward. Nothing's in there tight. Yeah, but don't judge us, it's not done yet. So we're just mocking it up really to work out, make sure we've got clearance for everything with all the bits we're running, and also make sure we know where all the bolts go. Because although they're bagged up, it's not always that straightforward. Yeah, all the bits powder coated, all the bits look nice. Got Protech shocks in the front, which are unlike the rear, they're adjustable coilover. So we've got some good adjustment there. This is all the same layout that the Imp was to begin with. So unlike a lot of old stuff, there's no lever arm shocks or whatever else old stuff has. So it's actually, yeah, it's quite nice and relatively modern in terms of its setup. What isn't original, other than the shocks and the poly bushes, everything being powder coated, is the brakes. So these are drum brakes all round from factory, which is less than ideal, especially when we're adding quite a bit of power to it. So this conversion kit allows us to use Nissan Micra front brakes. I think K11, not the Mark 1, Mark 2 Micra, Mark 2. So they're all just standard bits for the moment, which to us will probably be plenty good enough, but maybe at some point in the future we'll upgrade them to some slightly, at least more interesting looking discs. Got some adjustable tie rods for it that just give us, well, a load more adjustment really. They don't have an awful lot from factory, and where it's probably going to be lower and all sorts of other bits, we're going to need that adjustment there to correct it all. I think other than that, that's pretty much it.
A lot of hours and a little progress.
Yeah, it has been nice to pop it all together and everything be a bit more straightforward. Obviously, we're only doing a bit of a mock-up build for now because that will last 5 minutes out in the wild. We've still got a bit of cleaning up to do, and we've got some reinforcements to do here, just to reinforce this tower. But yeah, I mean, all of this is mostly original, a bit like the rear, and actually really quite good. There's no bad bits really around the front. I think the other side there's a couple of little thin bits, but we'll leave that to Matt and Tate to sort out. And that's kind of it from us. Need to order up some wheel bearings and a few bolts, and can't really think what else.
Yeah, lots of bolts.
Lots of bolts.
Lots of bolts.
Lots of lovely Imperial bolts.
Yep.
Yeah, I think we're all young enough that we've never really had to deal with Imperial stuff all that often.
It's been a good lesson for me.
Yeah. And yeah, I think the only thing I've ever really dealt with Imperial stuff on is this car, which I had a 12-year break on working on it. So yeah, a little bit rusty on my Imperial knowledge, but yeah, measure up a few bits, get some bolts ordered up, get some wheel bearings ordered up, and that's really about it. The steering rack's all rebuilt, it's not in there yet. That's all rebuilt nice, got new boots and everything for that. Job done, I think, really. It's they're so simple, there's really not a lot to them, it's quite nice. We do need to get brake lines made up, so these kits are available with just a normal rubber brake line, but we're going to use nice braided lines on this and just do it all nicely. And you know, it's not a race car or anything, but just I don't know, just kind of make the most of the fact that we've got Hell Performance, who we deal with extensively already. So we'll get them to measure these up and get them to knock up some lines for us. We've got to reline the rest of the car, so it might be an opportunity to, you know, use some nicer bits, lay it out a bit differently. we won't be running brake lines inside the car or anything like that. It's very much a road car, but we can just make it nice basically. So why not use some nice braided lines? And that really is that. We've only done the one side. That's the only problem.
Yeah, one side in about 4 hours.
Yeah. So there's no real need to mock up the other side, to be honest. Once we know that this works, but we may well do. Then we can take it all apart again, obviously. The body can be finished up and unsealed, and then we can start bolting it together once and for all. I think I'm right in saying the poly bushes on the front, you've had to chuck the inserts in the lathe.
Yeah, we've had to shorten them and muck around with them, and I've had to cut down some of the actual poly bushes themselves because they were too deep for the actual arm. Then if there was 2 variants of arms, so I had to take about 5mm off of each bush and about 6mm off each internal sleeve. But we're there, and it's bolted.
Shouldn't you be saying that about 3/8 or something? You've had
I should be working that out in thou.
31/16 of an inch.
Yeah, we'll get there one day.
Yeah. But that's that really. Who's on next week? That's the question. Matt and Tate, I believe.
I think it's definitely. I think we had Alex last week.
Yeah.
Alex and someone last week.
The weeks all blur into one.
Yeah, it's been 3 weeks already.
Yeah. I imagine next week will be more body repairs. There's a little bit to do around the back. There's
more
floor that's not really quite there at the moment.
More metal worky.
Yeah. So we'll let them crack on next week, and then hopefully in the coming weeks we'll actually be looking at getting some underseal onto this and getting it painted.
I think the new system's working quite well with the afternoons rather than an hour.
Yeah, it's pretty exciting. Come down Hack Engineering on a Wednesday afternoon and it's dead in the main workshop. And we're next door in the man cave working on this. So we'll call it there, I think.
Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe. I know a lot of you watching are probably like, for God's sake, not another imp video when we've got lots of BMW content coming up. But it'll be cool when it's done, promise. Keep an eye out for lots more content of everything coming up very soon. Adios.